big folding knives. They're quite the phenomenon, and I'm pretty new to them. The first big folding knife I ever got was the Voyager 2. And after reviewing that, I had some good dialogue in the comments of that review, and many of you share with me your favorite folders. Well, the one that interests me the most is the Voyager XL, the Tanto version. And in this video, I want to talk about 3 major benefits of a big folding knife. As of late, I've made the decision to be consistent with uploading long form content every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. And you may or may not have seen the post I put out recently. Sundays I'm going to devote to self-defense Sundays. I think I want Friday to be Feel Good Friday. I'll give Wednesdays a title at some point, but let's talk about the Voyager XL. This is a good Feel Good Friday topic here because a lot of knife lovers, man, you see this and you feel good. The Voyager XL, ladies and gentlemen. It's been quite the talk here on YouTube. A really good video that I watched one time from Coldsteel was when Lynn Thompson had all these folding knives laid out on a table, and he was acknowledging a lot of the comments that had come in about big folding knives, how, some were saying, it was too cartoonish and whatnot. And he talked about the benefits of a folding knife. And there was one thing that he said that stood out to me, and I don't have it word for word, but it was something along these lines. A big knife can do everything that a little knife can do, but can do it better. That being said, it's important to stay in context because we know why these knives were made. We're not talking about an ounce of bushcraft in this video. But hey man, if you want to do bushcraft with a Tanto knife and you want to be a samurai woodsman, I'm good with that. But these things right here were made for dealing with a very specific problem. So let's get started talking about 3 major benefits of a big folder. Benefit number 1, you can carry around a whole lot of knife very easily. 5.5-inch blade, 12.25 in length. Some may say, yeah, it's a big knife, but am I giving up durability? I don't necessarily think so. You're giving up a little bit of durability. Like, this is not going to have quite the durability of a Warcraft or a Recon, but you also don't have to go through everything you have to go through to carry those things. And remember, it's got the triad lock technology. It's really been tested for durability. Maybe you're like me. Maybe you have been out on Amazon or Midway USA, and you keep looking at that Warcraft San Mai version. What a blade. I like it. It just looks cool. It's got all the aesthetics you want in that kind of knife. But in order to carry that, you're going to walk around with a sheath hanging down your side. Some of you are cool with that. Hey, I'm cool with it sometimes. But this looks a lot like the pocket knife version of that knife, especially if you take away that little curved part at the bottom. Now imagine if you were just looking at it like this. In many ways, I feel like I'm looking at the folding version of the Warcrafts right here. So number 1 is simple. I can stick this down in my pocket very easily, and I'm carrying around 5.5 inches of madness. Is it cartoonish to some? Yes, but there's nothing cartoonish about what this can do, which leads to my second point, and that is it can reach out and touch. The versatility with the handle design on this is very cool. For example, if I want to get up tight, I can. Okay, if I want to get up tight, I can. But I've also got all of this room down on the end to make a strong extension. The slicing benefit speaks for itself, especially, if you're using reach. You have a lot of blade to slice with. You have a lot of opportunity to get a good slice in, and with this particular knife, a good snap cut. So you see, a big folding knife gives you a lot of reach, and reach matters, especially if you are using a traditional grip. Now, what about ice pick? No matter how sturdy a folding knife is, there's just something about ice pick that makes me a little nervous with a folding knife. I know these have a solid lock. I know they're stronger than a great majority of folding knives out there. And this is kind of something I want to hear a lot about in the comments. I want to get your opinion on ice pick when it comes to folding knives. There's just something in my gut that doesn't resonate with it. I'm more of a fixed blade guy for ice pick. But man, if you're going to just operate in traditional, you got a lot of tools to work with here. I want you to look at this from the side. Look at this slicing path there, the length in that slicing path. swiping up here, and even with the thrust, look at that length. And even here, you still have so much slicing to work with. So let's talk about what I believe to be the third benefit. Let's face it, it's intimidating. You pull this blade out, it's very intimidating. It's got an intimidating look to it. You'd have to be crazy to not be bothered by this if somebody deployed it. Don't get me wrong, I'm scared of any edged weapon, any blade length, but this really intimidates. It should, at least. Again, I'm talking about self-defense. I'm not talking about being a menace to anyone. Self-defense. That's one thing I really love about Coldsteel in particular, especially in my line of content and my line of work, is they're just straightforward about the blades they design. They don't create these knives and then encourage you to get them to go bushcrafting with them. Of course you could, but they don't. They design these blades for one specific purpose. Because you don't need a folding knife like this on the job site. You can get something much smaller than this. You can get something shorter, something sturdy like the SR1. But this is a fighting knife. And if you can avoid having to fight, man, that's what you want. And something like this is super intimidating, and in some instances may prevent the fight altogether without even having to go to work. Let's be honest with ourselves about something. Intimidation often plays a huge role in the de-escalation process in general. We obviously don't brandish our weapons at any time. If you get into a squabble with somebody and it's just a heated argument, you don't brandish your weapon like this because you'll get in trouble for that. Brandishing is in those serious situations, and if this is brandished, it's going to probably matter a little bit more than certain smaller pocket knives. Don't you just feel that comes down to common sense? I most definitely do. So the Voyager XL, I believe, has three key benefits. Number one, the ability to carry around a big knife really easily. Number two, it's got the reach. And number three, it can put the fear in somebody. I really do believe that. I feel the same way about all the big folding knives. I think that we should fear all edged weapons. Everybody should, but especially these, because they can reach out and touch you in ways that others can't. What are your thoughts on the Voyager XL? I know a lot of you have this knife. I'd love to hear your thoughts, your experience, and just anything, man. Just throw it out there in the comments, and I will enjoy getting the opportunity to read those and just see all the many different perspectives with regards to big folding knives. This video is just my opinion and just my thoughts on it all, and I'd love to hear yours. Take care.